Hello, what's up? And welcome back to the Big Dreamers Bible podcast. I'm your host, Tanya Jane, and today's a solo episode, and I'm so excited for it because I was like, let's have a chat. Let's not only get into a really cool conversation around the three limits, or actually the three ways to move beyond any limit, even better than three limits. Doesn't even matter what the limit is. What we're going to talk about today is three ways that I'm going to show you that I've actually done in all areas of my life. I've applied this concept, whether it be around money and finances and my bank account, whether it be around my career, whether it be around my circumstances, where I live, my relationship, literally anything, whatever you feel like is holding you back from reaching your potential, from skyrocketing to your next level, from claiming this is the level I want to be at and I'm fucking here, whatever it is, whatever limit you feel like is why you can't get there right now or holding you back from it, we're going to destroy it today. Okay? So that's what you're in for. And before I get to it, I need to share with you a personal story because it happened on the weekend and I was like, I'm still like, oh my God, the universe loves me. Okay, so let me tell you. And okay, actually, I need to focus, but clearly I can't. The first thing I want to tell you is if you're watching this on my YouTube and you've been watching my podcast on my YouTube, which by the way, the podcast is always on the YouTube too. If you want to watch me on your TV, some people said they do that, and I'm like, wow, I'm on your TV. So cool. But for those watching on my podcast on YouTube, I got a pot for my plant. And I got this plant in March, and I got this pot 2 weeks ago. Okay. So every podcast video I've done, I completely forget about getting this plant apart, and it's just had this like random black thing that it comes in. And every time I would start my podcast episode and I put my camera up and it would show that thing, I was like, oh, the pot. And then I just forget about it as soon as I would start talking. And then the next week would come around. And I'm like, oh, the pot. But ta-da! There is a pot. Now, here's the magical story that I want to share with you. So, I was going back and forth with myself on going on a staycation down in Laguna Beach. And also, one of my best friends lives down there. We're also co-hosting a retreat down there, which I'll talk to you about in a second. But, and I knew I was like, oh, we can like get some really cool content. We can hang out. We can plan the retreat. Like, we can co-work together. Like, it's going to be such a vibe. So, a part of it was like business, but also like low key, just me wanting to like live my best life. And I was going back and forth if I wanted to go on this solo staycation to Laguna and do this for me because I would have to leave my dogs, I'd have to leave my husband, and my house. But and when I say I was going back and forth on this, weeks, okay? I was like, oh, should I? Should I? I don't know. Should I? I don't know. And I finally just pulled the trigger on it on Saturday. And it's not even that big of a deal. I'm literally going for 3 days. But it was just like a random thought that rattles around my brain. And this is actually a good conversation to bring to the table today on limits because that's exactly why I wasn't pulling the trigger. I was like, should I go? I really want to go. I can feel that I want to go. I can feel that I want to do this. Not just for me, but also it's going to be a good business move too, being with Jazz. But like the dogs, the this, the that, the da, da, da. And they're not like limits, so to speak, like, your bank account or your career or whatever it may be, but there's still a perceived limit of why I cannot, right? I wanted to do something and then insert quote unquote limit. And now I'm like questioning it and I didn't do it for like weeks. Anyway, it was 8/8 portal, Lionsgate, August 8th on Saturday. Kind of forgot about it to be honest, but I did remember in hindsight after I made the decision to pull the trigger. And it was like loud. Have you ever felt like a dream that you've been thinking about or something that you've been wanting to do for so long gets so loud that you're like, I just need to do it because this thing won't leave me alone. This idea, this creativity, this decision, it's like you've thought about it for so long that you're just like, I just need to do it because it's not going away. It got so loud that I was like, oh my God, I think I just need to do it. So I started looking at hotels and then AJ and I went on like a little date day. So I was like, all right, I'll book the hotel when I get back. So I had decided I was going to do it. The second I decided I was going to do it, I saw 222 and I was like, oh, the angels are winking at me. And then AJ and I went on our date day and I was like, I saw 333 when we got to the mall that we went to. And I saw 333 and I was like, oh, okay. I feel like the universe loves me today. When you like see an angel number and you're like, oh, I'm in such alignment. And then I don't think I saw 444. No, I didn't. And then I got home And I was like, I'm doing it, I'm pulling the trigger. And I was looking online, and then I actually went into my American Express portal because I have my Amex Platinum always has like perks and the points and the this and the that, and like it's this whole extravaganza. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm very into it. Okay. Like I'm very into my point hacking era. So I was like, let me just check my portal, my Amex portal, and see if there's any deals. Found this amazing deal. Literally, stay 2 nights, get a third free. I get my free breakfast, I get my upgrades, I get all of this stuff that's included, and the price was like such a steal. And everywhere else, it was like so much more. But the deal on Amex was like a steal, and I get all these perks. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna do it. So I like booked it, and I got an email confirmation, and the email confirmation came in at 555. And I was like, oh, I I knew that I was meant to do this. Like I knew, look, it's 555. And then after I saw that, I was like, oh, and it's 88. It's Lionsgate Portal. I just pulled the trigger on this. This is me making a big deal out of maybe nothing, who knows? But also, why not make it a big deal? Maybe I am in massive alignment. I felt like I was. I was riding the wave. So I was literally like skipping around on sunshine, like the universe loves me. I'm literally listening. I feel like it's so happy with me right now because I finally just said yes to going to Laguna and doing this trip. Then it gets crazier, you guys. It gets crazier. So the amount that I paid, and remember, it was on this big discount, it was on this thing, it was like the way that I found it gave me this specific price. So I was like, oh, okay, I spent that money, right? I bought the room. I could have put it in my points, but I, for whatever reason, didn't. Anyway, it's a story for another day. I was going to bed. It was 10 p.m. at night. And yeah, I was going to bed. It was 10 p.m. at night, and I like just opened my phone, and for some random reason, I opened my emails, and I got a bunch of payments that day. I get payments every day. You know, when you have an aligned business strategy, when you have your multi six-figure sales pathways that you lock into your business, aka when you join SOD and you learn how to do all this shit, you will make hundreds and thousands of dollars every single day because you get to, and that's how good life gets to be for you. So during this day, I made thousands of dollars, and I didn't really know that I'd made thousands of dollars because I wasn't really checking my email. And so anyway, I looked at my email and I was like, oh, I got a bunch of payments today. Cool. And then I was like, I wonder how much that totaled up to today. Let me just go to my Stripe. Open my Stripe. Okay. And one of the last payments that came in that day came in at like 9:58 or something. So if I had checked my Stripe any earlier than that moment that I checked my Stripe, I wouldn't have had this magical full stamp of like, oh, the universe is fucking talking to me right now. So I like, I'm so aggressive right now, but I'm just really hyped. And so I open my phone, look at the Stripe, the exact number to the T that I had made that day was the exact number to a T that I just spent on my hotel at Laguna Beach. And I was like, I'm so in alignment. I was so meant to make this decision. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. So anyway, long story short, I'm going to Laguna Beach this week. By the time this episode airs, I'm going to be waking up in my cute resort. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Maybe on a beach walk when you're listening to this, who knows? But I'm like, I'm meant to be down there, and I pulled the trigger because I got over the fucking limits that don't even exist, and I did this for me. Now, before I get into what I want to tell you about, sidetrack. Laguna Beach, I am manifesting moving to Laguna so hard. If it was up to me, we would have been there like a year ago, but hubby works in LA, you know, he has his job and he's here. So when I say I'm manifesting Laguna Beach, I'm really manifesting him either getting remote job or I don't know. I'm ready to go, clearly. But anyway, I'm manifesting Laguna Beach so hard because it's such a great place. Like I just feel like I'm meant to be there. And I can see myself there, hence why I'm going on my little staycation. But this is also why I'm co-hosting a retreat down in the OC, very close to Laguna, because my co-host Jess, who's one of my best friends, she also lives in the OC. So we were like, we have to do this retreat here because it's so gorgeous. And we have people flying into this retreat from Canada, all over the US. We have 5 spots left to join the Rich and Regulated retreat. Well, for now. I'm recording this after we just did an IG live. We just sent out some emails, so maybe we won't have these spots left by the time you listen to this. But the Rich and Regulated retreat is combining both my zone of genius, which is success energetics and business strategy, alongside of Jess, who brings forward hormonal health, and nervous system regulation for women. These two things every single high achieving woman needs because the hustle, struggle, burnout bullshit that we all like feel like we must do to succeed at the level we desire. I'm going to come in and show you how to fucking destroy that limiting belief and scale without it. And Jess is going to come in and show you how to, on a body level, as a woman, scale, succeed at levels that blow your mind without actually disrupting your nervous system and going into hustle from the body perspective. Ugh, it's going to be so good. And we have so many bonuses. We have so many goodies, and the meals that we're getting for you guys are going to be so delicious. We're doing cocktail hour, happy hour. We're just going to have a fucking blast for the whole weekend. The intention is you walk out of that beautiful, gorgeous home that we've rented rich and motherfucking regulated, okay? This is the energy that we're bringing. So if you are ready to pour a full weekend, dedicate a full weekend to being with no kids, no partner, no obligations, the only thing you need to focus on is you and your next level, and that is a gift to give to yourself, by the way. If you're ready to pour that energy into you and say yes to yourself and get so locked in on your next era, your most powerful era yet, this is the retreat for you. Rich and Regulated is happening September 18th to the 20th in Orange County. So less than 6 weeks away, nearly 5 weeks away at this point. DM me the word retreat. I'll give you all the details. There's 2 tickets left to actually stay in the room. Sorry, not in the room, in the house. You will get your own room. Don't worry, we're not making you share rooms. There's 2 king beds, king bed rooms left in the house, and then 3 tickets if you want to drive and get your own accommodation. There's 3 retreat only tickets left. So, okay, that is my spiel. That's my like magical unicorn 8-8 story. Plus, come to the retreat down in the OC because it's going to be amazing. All right, let's talk about these 3 ways to bust through these limits. So, over the weekend, while I was like in my la la land, I was thinking about just like my own experience, even booking that trip, and then thinking about just life in general and how like these limits that I felt like I had didn't like they don't exist, but they feel so real in your mind, right? You feel like the money, the bank account, the circumstance, the job, where your business is at, the algorithm, your email subscribers, your number of clients, whatever it may be. You feel like what you can see with your eyes is limiting you from getting to your next level. And there is really these 3 ways that we're going to move beyond it. And sorry, if you're watching this on YouTube, I have something in my eye and I don't really know what it is. So we're just going to roll with it. Ow, I'm making it worse. Okay. Okay, now I think I got it. So I posted on Instagram on the weekend and I was like, just a reminder that like you can literally do whatever you want in life, you know? And then I was like, and if your brain needs some proof, let me prove it to you. And I was like, I grew up in Australia. I wanted to move to LA. I moved to LA when I was 19, and now I just live here. Like, I just live in another country because I felt like it, you know? And yes, obviously there's immigration and there's things that have to go into place to actually make this possible. But like, it's possible. I'm not from here. It's giving like every time I say that, it makes me remember that scene in Mean Girls where what's that guy's name? I can't remember that guy's name. When he's in the hoodie and he's like, she doesn't even go here. That's how I feel about myself being in America. I'm like, I'm not even from here. And I just live here because I wanted to. That's how much there is no limit. There's no rules. You can literally do whatever you want. You can say, you know what? I want to move to Portugal. Go. You can go, you know? Like that's the world we live in. Then I was like, I was broke as fuck for over a decade. Over a decade. I was like counting pennies. Every time I put gas in my car, I'd be like having a panic attack. Trying to skimp at the grocery store all the time because I was scared about money, scared about money, scared about money. Until one day I was like, I don't like that anymore. Like, I don't like that anymore. I'm going to choose to believe something else about money. 8 weeks later, I'm driving a brand new Mercedes off the lot. No one questioned me. And yes, I had to sign a lease. And yes, I had to like show them things, which I didn't pass. Okay. I didn't pass the fucking bank credit. So AJ had to co-sign the lease. But there's ways. And when when his credit passed, they didn't question anything. They're like, okay, great. He passed. Here's your payment. Bye. You can literally do whatever you want. I just changed my money reality overnight because I fucking said so. Granted, I did make a big investment in myself. I did declare a massive change and never going back. The car was a part of that. Like, yes, there's things in it. But my point is, 10 years being broke as fuck to 8 weeks later driving a brand new Mercedes with more money than ever before coming in from dance jobs because I decided to stop believing bullshit limiting beliefs around myself. You can literally do whatever you want. Last one to really drill this home. Okay? These aren't the three ways, by the way. I'm just riffing. But the last one is I was a dancer my whole life. We know this. And overnight, I was like, you know, I think I want to start a business. I never went to college. I never went to university. I don't have a business degree. I just graduated high school. I've danced my whole life. I've never had a normal job. I've never worked a 9 to 5. And I just danced my whole life and was like, yeah, I think I'm going to start a business. And now this is just my life. I just run this business. And yes, there's decision, there's investment, there's follow through, there's actions. Yes, 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 yes. But the point of this podcast is to show you, remind you, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Stop accepting all these limitations. They don't exist. So let's talk about it. How the fuck do we get over these limitations? Glad you asked. Three things: perspective, audacity, delusion. Let's talk about it. Let's go into it. Perspective. You need to change your perspective on your circumstances. The reason why your limit literally does not exist is because when you look at individuals who are navigating the same circumstances, the same challenge, the same bump in the road, one of them can see this limit as a genuine reason why they can't, and the other one sees this limit and literally ignores it. So if the limit actually isn't the problem, then what is? Your perspective on it. That's it. Your perspective on the limit. Because if the limit itself is not able to hold everyone back universally, then it's only holding you back. And the only reason why it's holding you back is because you're perceiving it to be that way. You're creating a story around it. Now, I want to give you an example. And actually, I put this out in my email that went out to my list on Monday, my newsletter, Elevate Weekly. I put this in my email and I was like, you can keep walking around with this limit, feeling like it's an elephant, a big elephant that follows you into every room you walk in. Or you can be the person, because someone else is having that exact same limit and literally ignoring it. You can be the person who, instead of that limit feeling like a big elephant getting their attention every room they walk into, that limit is as powerful as an ant twerking in the grass trying to get your attention. You don't even notice it. You're not even noticing it. You're like, oh, that's cute. Maybe you giggle at it. You're like, look at that ant shaking its butt. Very cute ant. And then you move the fuck on with your day. You can do that, you know. You have the power to do that. You have the power to respond to life very differently. You don't need to feel stuck. You're stuck because you feel like you're stuck. You're stuck because you're perceiving that whatever's keeping you stuck is finite. It's not, right? So let me give you an example of this, an analogy, because one of my clients, she joined Proximity, which was a 1 month mini mind that I did for anyone in SOD could upgrade to it, and anyone who wasn't a client could also join it. And she, in Proximity, she was sharing with me how she just had a baby. Her baby's literally 2 months old, and she's gorgeous. She's going all in on her business, which also, I love that I just brought up this example. For some people, their reason why they cannot go all in on their business is because they have a newborn. Other people, like my amazing badass client, is investing in herself, planning to leave her job, using her savings account to invest in herself, to work with me so she can get a clear plan so she can leave her job while she literally is breastfeeding and just had a baby. She has a 2 month old baby and she's investing in herself. Someone's like, I can't because I have a 2 month old baby. And she's like, I can because I have a 2 month old baby and there's no other option. Let's roll. The limit is you, not the limit. Some people are blaming the baby. Some people, the baby's just like, yeah, I have a baby. And what's your point? The limit is you. There is no limit besides you. Okay? I love that. The limit is you. Okay. Anyway, she was telling me that, she was like, I'm really like wanting this business to work because I really want to, like, I do not want to go back to my 9 to 5. I don't want to go back to my 9 to 5. And I have worked with many high achieving women, and I have helped many high achieving women leave their 9 to 5s and literally never look back. And here's what I said to her, and I want to share it with you. I said to her, I understand that you maybe feel like this 9 to 5 thing is so safe and tangible, and it's this thing that you're like, oh my God, it's the only reality maybe you've ever known. And I understand that, right? And maybe your surroundings is everyone else in a 9 to 5, and this is the only reality you've ever been in. Everyone has a 9 to 5. It's the safest option. It's steady. It's reliable. Yes, I agree. Yes, yes, yes. And that's not my point that I'm trying to make. I mean, yes, to a degree. Anyway, that's a whole podcast in itself. But she was like, I said to her, I'm like, I know that it may be hard to believe that you do not need a 9 to 5 to skyrocket, thrive, and live an amazing life when that may have been your only reality is you having a 9 to 5, and that's where you have experienced life and how you've experienced finances. And maybe everyone around you has also had that life. So that's all you have seen, right? And obviously, yeah, she's online, she's in my world, so she sees me and whoever else she follows doing something different, but it's not in her physical reality, like in her tangible life. Like I'm online, right? I'm online. Although I am real, okay? Anyway, I need to eat. Okay, let me wrap this up. So I said to her, I understand you may feel like that, but I just want to bring you another perspective. I personally have never had a 9 to 5. I've never even thought about it. Like, there's a reality where she is, and I said this to her, you're living in a reality where your 9 to 5 feels so dominating. It feels like a circumstance. It feels so like this could be hard to move from it. And then there's someone else living in this same world, in this same universe, who doesn't even think about it. Never had one, never relied on one. Granted, yeah, I had emotional whiplash and anxiety for a decade of my dance career, but like I was the problem, not the industry. I was the problem for that, okay? I'm sure there's people who are having emotional whiplash, anxiety, and stressing around money who have a 9 to 5 too, okay? That's a person, that's the problem, not the circumstance. The person is the problem there. Because remember, you're the limit, okay? So I was like, I just want to show you that there is another perspective out here where someone like me, who has never had a 9 to 5, hasn't even thought about one. Literally, a 9 to 5 doesn't even exist in my concept of life. I don't even know what that would be like. And it's not just me. None of the people I'm surrounded with have also ever had a 9 to 5. None of the friends I grew up with have one. All my friends here in LA don't have one. We're all doing our own thing, making our own money. Money is, flowing. We're creatives, we're entrepreneurs, we're in the entertainment industry. AJ, my husband's never had one. No one I know in my immediate circle of friends or any friend I've ever had has one. It's not even a reality that I comprehend. It doesn't exist in my reality. The idea of that world does not exist in my reality. Why? Because of perspective. So I want to share that with you because if you're so like stuck in like, it's this big thing that I need to overcome, aka the big elephant in the room. To someone else, it's an ant twerking in the corner being like, oh, that's cute, don't identify. If that's possible, then it's for someone else in the exact same universe, and it's possible for you to shift your perspective on this, right? So perspective is everything. We need to change the focus and the perspective we're having on whatever we perceive as a limit. Because that thing is not a limit. We are the limit. We are placing the limit on that circumstance. The circumstance is neutral. It's the ant twerking. It doesn't do anything. Okay. So the next thing is audacity. Now, this one's self-explanatory, I feel. So audacity is like, here's my thoughts on this. If someone's got to win, why can't it be you? If someone's got to sell their offer, if someone's got to help people do XYZ, insert whatever you do, why can't it be you? If someone has to book the dream job, why can't it be you? If someone needs to get booked on the musical, on the stage, on the tour, on the movie, in the commercial, if someone needs to get paid, if someone wants to pay someone, why can't it be you? If someone's looking for a health practitioner, a mindset coach, a business coach, an energetics coach, a whatever you do, if someone's looking for you, a house, if you're in real estate, if someone's looking for you, why can't it be you? If there's demand for that thing, why can't it be you? You have to have the audacity to say, yeah, it is me. Not up for debate. Okay? You really do. And this is the only difference between people who are succeeding and at the height of their career and ones who are still in trying phase. They just have audacity. That's it. They're not waiting. They're not hoping. They're not wishing. They're not praying. They're not waiting for that validation. They're seeing what someone sees as a limit and they're just saying, it doesn't exist for me. I have the audacity to claim I'm really good at this. I have the audacity to show up and say I could change your life. I have the audacity to say my work will help you. I have the audacity to put myself in a room and be like, I'm meant to be here. You got to have that. And that's just a decision. And once you decide to have the audacity to fucking bring it to your life, it's not up for debate anymore, whether you can or you can't. You can, period, the end. Okay? Whether you believe you can or believe you can't, either way, you're right. I don't know who said that, but it's a fucking amazing line. Whatever story you're feeding is the one you're going to believe. So it doesn't really matter whether you can feed a positive or a negative story. The only thing that matters is whatever you're feeding, then feed the positive one. We literally have a choice because we're literally that powerful. Have some fucking audacity, bitch. Get out there. People want to pay you. People want to work with you. People want to have you in their life. Own it, claim it, and be audacious just for a hot second. Just try it on. Just try it on for a week. Just be the most audacious you've ever been for a week. See how much your life changes in that week. Watch how different the choices and decisions you make for your life will be when you have some fucking audacity, okay? Now, the last one is one of my favorites, and this is delusion. I feel like I'm really good at being delusional. And in my Instagram post, I said that one that I was talking about the limits and things. I said, rules don't exist, limits don't exist. The game, like being you got to be delusional and then just stop debating with what you're going for. And this is the game. That's it. That's the game. Highly suggest you start playing, is what I said. Rules don't exist, so I can be whatever I want. Limits don't exist, so I can stop pretending that there's limits holding me back because there's not, just my perceived limits. Delusion is the way we will expand beyond our current circumstances because to be delusional means you have to believe in something you can't see. It's the only way. You have to believe in something you can't see. Isn't it funny how society makes people, look down on the word delusion? Oh, be delusional. Oh, that's something wrong. That's literally the only way you transform your life or do anything. You have to believe in something you can't see. And people think, oh, delusion just only applies to making more money or starting your business. Yeah, you need it. And delusion applies to everything. If you've ever bought a dream house, if you've ever bought a house, if you've ever upgraded an apartment, if you've ever decided you wanted to get married in your life, if you've ever decided you wanted to buy a bag or buy a car that you have never had yet, you were being delusional. You don't have it. There's no evidence maybe you can. There's no guarantee you can meet the love of your life. There's no guarantee once you meet that love of your life that you'll get married to them. There's no guarantee that you can buy your dream home. These are all things that society has accepted. And you know what's required for that? Delusion. You need to believe in something you can't see. And then you need to have the audacity to go after it. And the only way you can do that is if you have the perspective that you can and it's possible for you. It's the same concept, okay? It's the same concept. Apply it to your big dream. You're doing it anyway. You're just doing it on a smaller scale or not even smaller. You're just doing it on a scale that may be more socially acceptable. That's it. But socially acceptable compared to what? In comparison to who? Because again, socially acceptable could be your small circle. If you expand beyond that circle, what's socially acceptable is something so outrageous to someone else, but so normal to someone else. That's the analogy I gave around the 9 to 5 versus someone like me who doesn't even think about that. That's not normal for me. That's weird for me in regards to like no one around me does that. No one around me has one. I don't know what that would be like. I can't tell you because I haven't thought about it ever. So socially acceptable depends on your circumstance. Socially acceptable will depend on your circle that you are putting yourself in. This is why, investments exist. This is why mentorship exists. This is why SOD exists. Put yourself in a space that's set up for you to win at a level that you've never been at before and support you in being delusional to get there and gives you the tools and the codes and the concepts and the strategy so you can have the audacity and will shift your perspective immediately. I wasn't planning on plugging SOD, but your girl can't help it. When I have something that would change your life, I can't shut up about it. So these are the 3 things. And the last thing I'm going to say in regards to being delusional is I said this to one of my clients inside the Extraordinary Mastermind, which there's only one spot left for that, by the way, until it's sold out until 2027. I said to her, she was like talking about sales and clients and selling at her mastermind and how can she sell at her mastermind if she doesn't really know where the next clients will come from. And I was like, you'll never know where the next clients will come from, babe. Like you're never going to know that. And here's the way it feels for me. There's what you see on your radar. And what you see on your radar is literally 10% of what's coming your way. You can only see 10%, and there is 90% of your radar that you can't see. Now, that 90% has money, opportunities, clients, dream life, dream people, dream circumstances, and all of that's coming your way. But if you only live your life based off the 10% that you can see, the smallest portion of what you can see, you will always limit yourself. But you're limiting yourself on false data. There is so much more that is happening beyond the veil, but you can only see that 10%. So this is why delusion is so important. You need to be tapped into more what you can feel and what you have decided to be true and what you know to be true within than what you can see. Because what you can see is a portion of what's actually going on, and what you can see is already outdated. There's already more coming for you if you believe that to be true. if you're interacting with that, if you're moving in alignment to that by having audacity and having this perspective on your life. So, anyway, this is the episode today. I've got to go because I have an SOD coaching call and I also need to eat lunch. But this was a joy. Fucking love talking to you guys. Let me know if this podcast episode resonated. Let me know if you needed to hear this. Let me know if it fucking hit. You're like, holy shit, yeah, that ant situation, that's where I've got to be at. That's what I'm ready for. And I love you guys. And I will see you in 2 weeks for another episode here on the Big Dreamers Bible podcast. Bye, you guys.